Key details of the next Nintendo Direct have leaked. Before you say anything, because I know how leaks are, this isn't just some random guy posting on 4chan. No, this is from the man himself who predicted perfectly Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And all of its details too. Pyoro on Twitter is pretty much the credible leaker who previously spilled the details on everything on the last, Nintendo Direct, including the Mario RPG remake. Now, it's been widely speculated that Nintendo will have their next big Direct this month, September. Why? Because Nintendo, of course, has hosted a major Nintendo Direct every September since 2016. Kind of like how Apple does. You can sort of predict the cycles when big companies want to announce stuff. But September is a great month to do so. So, what have we heard? What do we know? And do we think it's true? Well, I think it's true. Yes. I want to believe. I full believe. And the reason I want to full believe is because of how exciting these details are. First of all, there will be new information on the upcoming Princess Peach game. On this Twitter post, of course, Pyoro says yup in response to someone saying, Mr. Pyoro, please, will we get more news on the Peach game? So he said yes to that with a simple yup. And of course, the corresponding attached message had to do with the excitement that was brewing that Donkey Kong is coming back in a new game. To sort of indicate this, he posted a clip of DK doing his classic roll, his donkey roll. I'm not really sure what the move is called. That's all I put, but given his credibility, when you are a leaker that actually is on the inside, which, if you want my opinion, this has to be, when someone is a leaker, they need to have the source. They need to be at the source of the water to leak the water, right? So it might be a Nintendo employee with an alt account. It might be someone who's in charge of... Sometimes it's not Nintendo itself. It might be like third parties that are in charge of bringing the corresponding information to retailers, that sort of thing. Whoever this man is, he's legit. I know people might have mixed feelings on leakers, but what I like about Pyoro is that he doesn't leak too much to spoil an entire surprise. He leaks just enough to keep things tantalizing, like a picture of DK rolling, or yup to Princess Peach, or the title Wonder of the new Super Mario Bros. Game, but very subtly, right? However, I think, of course, the most exciting part of this Direct is that finally, a man who's been on our minds for decades might get his time to shine again. No, not Fox. I'm talking about a character that has been in so many games except for his own titles. We all know Captain Falcon as a Super Smash Bros. Character far more than an FZero character. I mean, it's true. The games that he's in have had far much more of a cultural impact, especially given the cult classic virality of Smash in general. He's been in every title since 64, and his last game that was released as FZero, and I want to make sure I look this up so I don't bite myself in the foot. I'm pretty sure the last FZero title that ever was released was FZero GX for the GameCube, right? For the GameCube. And that was in 2003. There was also FZero GP Legend for the Game Boy Advance, also in 2003. Guys, for the first time in 19 to 20 years, we're getting an FZero game. That's because Pyoro cleverly put in a tweet, let's just say fans of a certain MATLAB function will be happy with the upcoming Direct. And there's a big, I love that in the comments you can find a big list of all the MATLAB functions. And if no one used MATLAB, it would probably be pretty confusing. That's what he was saying. But those familiar with it know that there is a function in MATLAB simply known as FZero, which is great. It's the root of a nonlinear function. And yeah, it's just great. It's so sick to think that we're having another FZero game. But what's really, really cool is that I think Nintendo can actually take a step further with this. He's a Smash character, tried and true. He's considered by many to be the face of Smash Bros. Or that Falcon Punch is the most iconic move in the entire series, arguably, especially for casual audiences. So the question is, will this be just a racing game? Or is this going to be Falcon plus the cult following that's behind him? When it comes to Switch titles, there's definitely been a lot more experimentation. And I think to appeal to the mass audiences here, both new, old, classic, whatever you want to call it, there is a lot of chance for this game to really hone in on some nostalgia from both the racing side in F-Zero and, of course, the fighting side in Smash Bros. I'm not saying he's going to jump out of his car and fucking punch someone, but wouldn't that be the fucking coolest thing you've ever fucking seen? It would be amazing. I really hope he does do that. And the point is, it's apparently going to happen. Pyoro, like I said, this guy is a legit leaker. Now, the Direct is slated to include a lot more, but honestly, this is an incredible start. Additionally, progress is going great on the successor to the Switch, but it's suggested that the Direct will not include any news on the Switch 2, which makes sense. I mean, there'll be a lot for people to chew on if they had something as groundbreaking as a new DK title, let alone a new F-Zero title, to get everyone super talking about it for years, first time in 20 years. Adding the Switch 2, announcement on top of that would be a bit much. However, the Switch 2 was apparently demoed behind closed doors to various developers at the recent Gamescom conference. According to Central Leaks, one demo was an enhanced version of Breath of the Wild, which was just a tech demo, not an actual re-release. There's a higher frame rate and resolution. And mind you, higher frame rate could be at the games that traditionally run at 30 FPS, like Kirby titles, part of the Link games. Running at a higher frame rate would be really, really impressive. A higher resolution, so going from 1080p at least hopefully to 4K. And another one was the Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 demo. And apparently the last one also had NVIDIA DLSS enabled with ray tracing. So it seems that they are paying very close attention to what their competitors are doing. If you've been, a Nintendo head for the past couple of decades like I have, you'll know that Nintendo likes to... They're okay. They're okay with being a few years behind what Microsoft and Sony are doing from the technical standpoint, and then for their next console, sort of getting what they had and then adding it, right? If Sony releases a console that has 1080p, Nintendo will probably be still on 480p or I, aka the GameCube, going to the Wii versus the PS3, right? Third generation, fourth generation. It feels like Nintendo's always one generation behind in terms of technological advances, and I think it's for a very valid reason. I think they have a corner of the market where they want to keep their console prices much lower as a lower alternative and make up for those lower tech specs with really good games. Now, of course, every developer is fully decked out with making complete suites of consoles that are full technical experiences and great games, so I'm no surprise now that Nintendo is finally wanting to catch up to that. Not to mention the fact that they have the handheld market, cornered. This thing, Nintendo Switch OLED, this is a damn good piece of hardware, right? It's not the absolute best handheld gaming device you'll find by any means, but to do OLED, to do 1080p, to have most of the games running 60 FPS, the battery life that it does, compatibility that it does, virtual console, this is the result of a lot of trial and error for Nintendo over many, many years. And the fact that they've now combined both their console and handheld market means really, really, it's a very important step for them, right? There's no more like DS or Game Boy Advance. It's Switch season, and they're going to stick to this pretty much for this strategy, I believe, for the rest of the company's existence. It'll be very, very weird to ever go back to a point where you have to separate the console and the handheld. The Switch 2 or Switch Pro added on that was sort of being teased right here. I have no doubt it'll also have the handheld compatibility, which would mean they probably made a breakthrough in terms of how they make their consoles and, of course, internal specs and cards and microchips they're using and screens. I'll be very, very curious to see if there's any more information leaked about the Switch 2. But as for now, all we know is that Pyoro is a legit leaker, and we're getting Peach information, Peach game information, Donkey Kong game information, whether it's a remake of DK64, DK Country, or a brand new DK game for the Switch, and of course, a brand new F-Zero title, which I'm very excited to see. Anyway, that's the wrap-up of what I thought was the good parts of this leak. Of course, I'll be reacting to it, hopefully live on stream, and I hope that you guys will be there too. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this going to be legit again? Is Pyoro going to go 5 for 5 on this? Is he capping a little bit now? Or are we in the season of F-Zero and Switch 2? Let me know, and as always, thank you for watching.